we'll just say there's a child who grew up with an alcoholic parent. And when the parent would get really drunk, they would trample on your boundaries, your personal space. They would be disrespectful. They would yell at you. They would hit you, whatever. Okay? That person is going to grow up with a skewed version of reality. They're going to think it's okay unconsciously to be mistreated. And that's just low self-worth.
Yeah.
It's low self-worth. And I always thought that self-belief was the most important thing, and it is. But the second most important thing is self-worth. And so if you grew up being really mistreated or your boundaries treated unjustly, that's what I would say, is if you grew up in an environment that treated you very unjustly, you most likely don't understand how much you're being disrespected and how much your boundaries are being trampled on. And so the way that I describe it is self-belief is your belief in your ability to build the castle. Self-worth is how much you believe you deserve to live there, and then you honor and protect it with a moat, and you don't let people come in and spill beer on the carpets. So I was someone who had very low self-worth and low boundaries. So I was so mistreated at times and so bullied in high school and different things and just growing up and all that I didn't understand this Richter scale. And I'll explain the Richter scale quickly. If you're born in the U.S. and California, there's earthquakes all the time. If you're born in Massachusetts, there's no earthquakes. So if there's an earthquake, even at level 1 out of 10, everyone's freaking out. Whereas in California, you wouldn't even notice. You're just used to it.
Yep.
And so it's the water we're swimming in when we grow up, and we don't realize. So for example, if you grew up with a very adverse childhood, your Richter scale is screwed up. So when an intimate partner tramples on your boundaries, you don't even notice it. And so you don't know how to be respected, and naturally people disrespect you, and you never stand up for yourself, but you have no idea that you're not doing that. And then people don't respect you unconsciously because you are essentially being cowardly. And so an example of a boundary would be if someone is yelling at you or mistreating you or calling you a name or energetically ribbing you, being a dick to you. And men do this often. And then you don't say something and give it back and say, hey, I really don't appreciate what you did there. And stand up for yourself. Essentially, you become this social coward who doesn't have any boundaries that anyone can treat any way they want. And unfortunately, in the primitive dominance hierarchy of humans, you are now seen as weaker because you didn't have the courage to stand up to the bully, so to speak. And so boundaries are honoring a core value.